Hi, I'm Alicia. Thank you for joining us today. And before you take this journey with us, I just want to say this is a podcast, okay? This is not a therapy session. Yes, we talk about real and sometimes heavy stuff, so consider this your trigger warning. And I'm a licensed therapist, but nothing here is medical advice or a substitute for professional mental health care. Because remember, we're just like talking to comedians. Anyway, welcome to Xanyland. All right, dude.
What's up?
Hi.
Dude. I only called you dude just now because you did it first.
I know, I loved it. I love when people do that shit. That's nice.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Xanyland podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Racine, a licensed therapist. And we're hanging out with comedians because who else is going to be honest about being crazy?
In your comedy, do you love heckling? Or you don't heckle because the other people heckle. Do you love like crowd work?
No.
No, you're not a crowd work guy.
I never do it.
You never do it?
I mean, I'll do it if I have to, but it's like rare. I don't know.
I actually love that because that means you don't have to. Like comedy, there's no rules, right? You can fucking be whatever kind of comic you want.
Yeah. I was not anti-crowd work. I just never did it for years until like recently.
You started?
Yeah, and I love doing Mike Falzone's. Have you seen that Surrounded show?
I haven't.
It's Mike Falzone, shout out. He does this crowd work show where it's in the round.
Oh, okay.
So you're in the middle of everybody, and they just like rearrange the seating at clubs, and then you're like, it's called Surrounded.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
And you can't do any material; you just do crowd work.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
where the fuck do I see this? Where do we see this?
Probably Improv Comedy Store.
Yeah.
He takes it on the road, like last time.
So smart.
Yeah, last time I did we were in Austin, Texas. He took it to Moon Tower.
Wow.
And he does that JFL and stuff like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I was a theater kid, so we did black box theater, which was often, surrounded.
Yeah.
Like it was often audience all the way around you.
That's cool.
And so when you did like a scene or a monologue, you had to make sure you were like playing this way and then playing this way. And then
Yeah. I actually majored in theater.
You did? So did I.
You did? I didn't finish. But
where did you go?
So I went to SF State for like a day.
You know what's so fucking awesome is I found out today that Tommy Brennan was like a musical theater baby.
I had no idea.
And I started at 8 too.
Okay.
And so it's nice to know that you did it too.
I started late. I started I did like every single acting, voice, and directing class in community college.
Yeah.
And then I transferred to SF State, and then that's when I started doing stand-up. So I just like kind of quit.
You just quit. Mm-hmm. Did you like it though when you were doing theater?
Yeah, I liked it.
Is there a part that you remember playing that you were like, this is
I remember some, like, it was a lot of student directed stuff, like student projects.
Okay. You didn't get into like Shakespeare and stuff?
No, not really.
That didn't happen.
No.
Did you ever have to roll around on the floor?
Yeah.
You did all that.
Those were fun. I love those. Like,
Okay, yeah, we'll talk more about it. So in theater school, you're right. In theater school, you do a lot of not acting, but you're doing a lot of like exercises of like rolling on the floor and breath work and just like fucking kind of, I don't know. They're trying to like kill your ego and make you like one fresh slate so you can become other things.
Yeah, and I felt like those classes were the most valuable to me in school. I don't think I've ever applied. I mean, this is probably not true. I'm gonna say it anyway, though.
Yeah.
I haven't really applied any of the other stuff I learned from school, but from like theater and like directing, the voice stuff. I use that like every day.
Do you fucking use the voice work? I'm like freaking out.
Every day. I feel like.
What do you do?
I'm just like super aware of it and conscious of it.
But you know what I did do one time? Because I did theater school in London as well. We used to like jump around and be like stars. Did you ever have to do that? No, you didn't do that. All right. No. You just like the breath work. I like it.
Yeah, and like I took my favorite class I ever took that I like apply to my life every day is I took this voice and diction class. Yeah. And it just helped me. That was the thing that helped me with like everything. Like talking on the phone, like me doing stand-up, I apply everything I learned from that to like literally everything.
I think we are our voice. And now your whole life is your voice, basically.
Some of the exercises and the projects we do would be like, bring in a piece to like read without like a script or a book or something, lyrics. Some people did lyrics to where like the exercise was like, how far can you go without breathing?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then I would just go in there and just do bits.
Wow.
That's when I first started doing stand up. Like I had only been miking like a few months or something like that.
Wow.
And then they're just like, bring whatever you want. So I would just do stand up bits.
How did you know you wanted to bring stand-up bits? Were you already knowing that you wanted to do stand-up at that point, or?
Yeah, I had been doing it for a few months.
Okay.
I was bad at stand-up, and then like I'm just doing these bits in front of like, it's not even like no one here wants to hear any of this, and then I'm just like doing random bits. It was interesting because I liked it and doing the projects were fun and stuff, but no one really like fucked with me like that in class. I was kind of like a loner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You give loner vibes.
Okay.
I mean, obviously you have this like game show podcast and you're like in front of people all the time, but being a therapist and reading people, I still get a little loner vibe.
I'm not afraid of being alone, like at all.
Yeah.
I'm okay with my independence.
Or it feels like needing to people please in the space.
Which to an extent, yeah.
Which I think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, which I think is why when you do stand up, I gravitate towards it so much. Like,
Thanks.
You're so cool, you're so rad, you seem so confident and calm, and then and then the feeling is, I don't need to please you, where like, I feel like a lot of comedy, like people are like leaning in trying to get the joke, and I feel like when you come on, just like how you were saying, like no one fucked you, it feels like that when you're on stage. And that's loner vibe to me. It's like not loner as in like lame, as in like, I don't need you. You know, obviously we know you were doing these bits in these voice classes, and you obviously were like in school for theater or whatever. Like what made you want to be in front of a crowd?
Oh, I did some middle school like improv stuff, and the teacher was like, you should just do this. But at that age, you're like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I was like skateboarding and stuff like that. I was that guy who's like, nah, improv's lame. You know what I mean? I was just like, also like, how you can create an improv team in middle school? That's right. Crazy. I mean, you've probably seen it on TV and stuff, but you don't know like, oh, that's improv. You just think that guy's being silly.
Right.
So I remembered that, and I was like, yeah, well, let's try it. I'm not good at like math or like stuff like that, so let's try it. And I was like, maybe I'll do TV stuff, maybe I'll get into it. That's what I wanted to do. I was like, oh, let's get famous. But then after I started practicing and actually working towards it, I was like, oh, this is just like fun, and it's like it's exciting to get good at something.
Yeah.
And then that's when I liked being on stage. And then someone was like, oh, try stand-up. Then I tried stand-up, and I was like, oh, I like this. This is where I feel the best.
I love that. It's like everyone has superpowers, and you didn't know what yours was, and then you sort of found it, and that's it. You got bit, and you were in. Yeah. I love how you are honestly though, were like, I want to be famous.
Yeah.
Like, no shame. Like.
Yeah. No, it was crazy because I was like, I don't know what to do, and I was just like, let's try to be famous, and then after that, it went so far from that. Like now I don't even care. I don't want to be famous at all.
Of course,
I just want to create and like create things people like and enjoy. And if I get money off of it, cool. If not, I'm having a good time.
That's awesome.
I feel like I like where we're headed with mental health.
Yeah, you are.
As a society,
it's really cool, right? It's everyone's talking about it now. Every I know you have your awesome therapist joke, and that's when I first was like, we have to have Andrew. Yeah. I've always loved your comedy, as I was saying before, but you did this one joke about
it's hard to find a therapist that you vibe with financially.
Yeah. I love that joke.
Thank you.
I love that joke because I think that is really true for most people. Like the vibe is changing. Yeah. But people are still trying to figure out how to afford it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like that's not. But there's a lot of cool programs out there, and like this is partly a psychoeducational podcast where it's like there's Mentaya now up there for people. Do you know they like help people with their insurance and get reimbursements?
Hey, this is Mike, the hubby on all the meds. Let's take a break for our sponsor.
Hey babe, you're a licensed therapist. You have a private practice. You need to get on Mentaya. You know when clients always ask if you take insurance and you have to do that awkward sigh before explaining out-of-network benefits? Well, yeah, Mentaya fixes that. And here's how it works. You sign up at Mentaya.com. Use my code Xanyland for a free month. That's XANYLAND. You know that because you're here. Clients check their benefits through Mentaya's tool before booking so that they know what they'll get back. On average, that's 62%. After sessions, you or your client uploads a super bill to Mentaya. That's it. Mentaya files a claim, follows up, and gets them reimbursed. You get your full rate. No discounting, no chasing claims, no selling your soul to a tech bro. Go sign up now with Xanyland for a free trial. You're welcome.
All right, back to the show.
There's Alma, right? Alma, you can find a therapist and like they help you get a therapist in network that you can afford. Anyway, there's just cool fucking things happening now. And the great part is that they help the therapist actually make the money they deserve, like as a medical fucking professional, but I can't actually afford to go.
Yeah.
It's rad. There's other sides of it too. Like it's becoming more popularized, but then there's also kids will be like, I have trauma. And it's like, no, dude, you're just a teen. Like it's not supposed to feel good.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for them. I don't know like their experiences and stuff like that. But I do feel like social media has went crazy on like, I don't like everybody's autistic now. Everybody's on the spectrum.
Everyone. Yeah.
Everybody, everybody's mentally ill now. Like it's like kind of cool to be.
Every ex-boyfriend is a narcissist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone. Yeah. It's gotten a little like wacky that way. But I do love that we're at least like.
We're talking about it.
Yeah, we're talking about it.
It's being acknowledged, which is good.
I actually think though that teen trauma or not trauma should go to therapy, because therapy isn't just for when someone is in like a fucking horrible place. Like therapy is just to, like you said, check on yourself and like be like, I need to talk.
Yeah. So as a therapist, can you, when you see someone, can like a teen, say you see like a teen, can you, and they're telling you like, oh, this is my trauma, are you allowed to be like, that's not trauma?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool.
But I would never do it in like an invalidating way.
Yeah.
It would be like, let me try to think, because obviously it has to be, everything in therapy is like based on the individual. There's no like any blanket shit is like not working. Like you were saying before, you don't know their experience.
Yeah.
But I could say to the person like, you're not alone, or we could talk about how many other people that's happened to, so that it's not like they're isolated in this silo of panic where they feel like they're the only one that's had this trauma. I think it's helpful to go like, this is happening, and you can share it and talk about it. And so maybe normalizing it a little bit as opposed to going like, that's not a fucking real trauma.
Yeah.
Plus, so not on the side of the New York Times who was saying like, this isn't trauma, this is just teenagerhood. Yeah. Trauma is determined based on like your temperament. Yeah. So if I'm like fucking highly sensitive.
Okay, and then anything can be trauma.
Yeah. I mean, it's based on like how your nervous system reacts. Okay. We have these different hemispheres in the brain, and like PTSD is basically like the experience and the pain. The left brain is kind of like a filing cabinet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you label shit, you just put shit away. You guys know this? Yes. And then, okay, well, I'm just being obvious. But anyway, it's like a filing cabinet. The right brain is sort of like all this sensing and feeling stuff. So most of the time when something bad happens to us, if we can make meaning of it and sense from it, we can put it in the filing cabinet. If we don't, and we're just this highly sensitive person, basically this emotion and experience is just rattling around in the right side of our brain. Yeah. And we're experiencing it every day as if it's happening, even though it's not there. We need to like actually like connect these two hemispheres and then put it in its filing cabinet so it's not present anymore. Right. Yeah. But that can happen to anyone. Like if your nervous system is not resourceful and resilient, it'll just fucking happen. Yeah. So we can't really say if that teenager has trauma or doesn't have trauma.
Someone who has the same kind of trauma, or same kind of event, same experience. But one person might not make it trauma, and then the other one.
Yes, I want to high five you right now.
Okay, so
you're fucking getting it.
So there are weak human beings out there. Sorry.
Well, they're usually like, yeah.
I think that's what it is. It's like some people can take it, some people can't.
Some people can take a joke and some people can't.
Yeah.
I think like, okay, so going back, that's one of the reasons why I might be like, this is, you're not alone. Because I'm trying to help them see that they can
That'd be funny to be like, hey, I just want to let you know you're not alone, but this guy took it way better than you.
Dude, that's fucking amazing. And you know why he took it better than you? Because he was in therapy.
Right.
Dude.
Okay.
No, probably because he didn't have other trauma. But
sure.
Also because you're right. Because their temperament's better, their resilience is better, and all this shit. And resilience, you're so right, though. I mean,
That's
like,
so
basically, we go to therapy to be less weak human beings. Like, I'm actually so glad that you said it, because now that makes so much sense. You want to be, like, a less weak human being? Just go to therapy.
Right.
Or at least, like, learn how to make sense of stuff. Do you go to therapy?
Not at the moment, but I was during the pandemic. And then I went as like a kid.
Did any of it help?
Yeah, I'd say so. I only did half of the pandemic one was I was in couples therapy. We're not together anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was fun.
It was fun?
I didn't mind it.
Did you learn anything from it that you will?
I learned a lot from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was just something so simple as just like, I feel like my communication skills got a little better, which was good. And I wasn't expressing my feelings like correctly towards her.
Yeah.
And that was good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really rad.
And then like when I was like a kid, I had to go to therapy, but it was like a therapy / anger management thing. Yeah.
Tell us about that. Do you mind telling us about that?
Yeah, I don't care. It was because I had just moved. I was like living in Oakland. I had a bunch of friends. I moved out to Concord.
Yeah, of course.
And then I was just like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So I like didn't do what I was supposed to in school, to where like I was called to like the president or the principal's office, just because I wasn't doing shit, and I was just like, I just wasn't doing anything. I was just like, I'm gonna rebel and not do my work or whatever. And then she was just like yelling at me, and I was like, bro, you're boring. I like literally said that. I was like, you're boring. I don't want to do this. So they made me.
This is what I'm talking about, though. This is like this fucking superpower he has to just be like, to lean back. Like, I don't need this. This is boring.
Yeah. And it was just me being rebellious because I lost all my friends at that time, you know.
Of course. I mean, when people act out, usually, I mean, they're in pain.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And then
especially kids, like if this little kid I knew was like experiencing sexual abuse, you know, and she just kept slamming the door of her bedroom. Like they were like, why won't you stop slamming the door of your bedroom? It's like, because something's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, she's in pain.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. You're like, fuck this. I hate this.
Yeah. And then they said, they were like, if you want to still go here, then you got to go to anger management. So I went to anger management as like an 11-year-old.
Did you go with 10? Like all old men? Like all just you and a bunch of like 55-year-old fucking balding angry men.
Yeah, just me and these coal miners.
You just kept getting worse.
I'm just like, you don't want to be where you're supposed to be either? I feel you, bro.
What did they? I want to know what they have you do in anger management with these old men, or by yourself. Did they have you like punch pillows, or?
I was by myself.
Did you punch pillows? Did you like?
No, I remember for the first few sessions, I remember I was just like not talking. I was just like, I'm not doing all this. And then eventually, I remember the thing that got me was she had a ball. And then we just played catch for a little bit in the office, and then I was like, okay, fine, you're cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I forgot the lady's name, but yeah. Then we played just like random games, and then we just like talked. I don't remember how long I did it for. It might have been only for like a few sessions.
So what do you think about? Let's going back to like being a comic and like in your world right now, like mental health wise, not just therapy wise. In our culture today,
What do you think is there something that you feel like is being affected?
I feel like social media is so stressful. Just like having to keep up with everybody, it wears you down a little bit.
So you have your podcast that you love, right?
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about just like TikTok.
Like clips, it's getting better for me at least. On like my mental health, like with like clips and stuff like that. But when people were first getting to stand-up clips and stuff like that, it was like so stressful. It's still stressful for a lot of people too. Like,
yeah. What do you hear?
Just like, cause you'll see like a lot of your friends like just like pop off on social media, and then it's like, why can't I do that? It's so. You gotta do a reel once a day. You gotta do a carousel once a week. You gotta do this, and it's like, oh, I got into like comedy to do jokes. Now I have to like edit my own stuff or pay someone to edit. I gotta get on a call with Instagram to see how we can like build my following, and that's just so stressful.
Wow, you can call Instagram?
You can.
Really?
You can have a meeting, and then they'll do like a strategy thing with you.
Holy, do you have to pay for that?
No, it's free.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
But they say the same shit.
They just say carousel and
they just say
every day.
They say that I literally
they're like,
what I just said is what
this
they told
beast
me. Yeah.
and it will,
yeah.
it'll get hungrier for you as you feed it more.
Yeah.
I have these like night sweats in the middle of the night, which are probably my perimenopause, but they feel like they're about social media. And I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, am I gonna have to really start doing this? Like, even as a therapist, like, am I going to have to now start feeding this beast too? Because in order to be relevant now today, you have to feed it.
Yeah, it's like everyone has to do it now if they want to be like successful. Even if it's like like I see ads for carpenters who are just like, it's like ASMR, but then they also have like a carpentry business, you know? It's like,
so they're doing ASMR carpentry?
Yeah, they're just like
Fucking
building tables,
it.
or like you'll see like, some of these profiles are like millions of followers, and all they do is like power wash windows.
I love when like a whole page is just like the same thing over and over and over again. I feel like that's such a good, I don't know if that's how you guys can do it, but that feels like such a good strategy. I don't know.
I watch this lady on Instagram where it's like day 503 of, she works for a soda company.
Okay.
And then all her videos are just like day whatever of smashing bottles to prove that this is a better marketing strategy than my boss tells me to do ads. And it works.
Yes.
All she does is she gets a bottle from where the soda company she works, and she finds a different way to smash it every week.
Do you have a suggestion for me? I don't want to be like every other therapist out there that's just dancing and then putting, graphics where they're like, you know what I mean? They're like, breathe, journal, and have gratitude. Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Pointing out trauma, different kinds of traumas.
Oh.
Like on the street.
Yeah.
It's just like you see like a kid, a dad yelling at a kid.
Yeah.
And then it pans over to you and you point at it and you're like, that. And that's it.
Trauma.
Yeah, that.
Wow! This is genius. Can we do this?
That'd be kind of fun.
I honestly should ask everyone like him, like, what should I do? And then just try it. And then whatever pops up, just keep doing that. But I love this idea. You're just walking around and you're like, trauma. Actually, there's a guy yesterday out on the street, pants fully down. Yeah. Touching himself. Yeah. I got traumatized. Yeah. I should have just like picked up my phone and been like, trauma. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's fun. My trauma. Great idea. I love it. I love it. Okay, so your mental health is being affected, you feel like, by having to feed this beast.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And other people are talking about this. And what do we think? Do we think we all need to go to feed it, but then also go to therapy for it?
I mean, if you can feed it, then feed it.
Yeah.
Because there's people doing it, for me personally, I don't generate material that quickly, and I don't do that much crowd work. I mean, I do now because I have to do it. Yeah. Which is, I don't mind. It's so stressful still, like having to edit your shit, figuring out the time when to post, and just like the right captions, and sometimes you'll post and you think it's good, and then it's not, and then you're like, what the fuck am I doing? You know?
Yeah, it does feel like such a waste of time.
Yeah, I've kind of figured out how I operate, and I just accept it.
Yeah.
You know, like.
That's a good way to look at it.
Mine's like the times that the clips have done well is like when the joke is finished. Because I was just posting incomplete jokes, like I'd have a premise and a half punchline, and I'd be like, all right, we got to get this one out on tape, and I got to post it. But then you post it and it's not good. Every clip that's done well for me, it was like complete and like well thought out. So it's just like, if that works, then that works for me. So
yeah,
I can't post every week, but when it's good, it's good.
Yeah. So interesting, because I always think of social media being detrimental to mental health, because even though I'm having my own reaction to it, which is funny, but because of the responses, like the needing for the likes, trolls and the haters and the does that affect you as well?
Negative comments don't affect me at all.
Well, because you're you.
Yeah.
Everyone else, though, I feel like
it's not a lot, and most of the time it's not that mean.
Oh.
Like no one ever.
You're like, that's not good enough.
Yeah. It's not. It's never. No one is that creative in the comments. Like if you're commenting something, you're not that creative. Like.
Yeah.
People think that when you comment, it's just like no one's gonna see it. They just think they're just putting it out there, and it doesn't affect anyone. And for me, it doesn't. But they don't really understand that, like, oh, people can see this. Like,
yeah, and
people can really see.
Lots of people are gonna see this, and that person's gonna see it, and it could be hurtful. I work with a lot of celebrities, and they get a lot of hate, and it's really painful for them actually, because they're fucking human beings. I don't know if anyone knows that, but they are. And from your own constitution, which is so rad, do you have any advice? Like, I love what you said. Those comments aren't even that creative.
Yeah.
Do you have any other advice like that I could give them, even? Because I work with them all the time and try to come up with different advice to help them navigate this new trauma, because it is a trauma.
Yeah. I'm only gonna post a clip if I'm like crushing, you know, if it's like worth posting.
Yeah.
If someone comments on a clip that's like destroying, and they're like, "This isn't funny," it's like, is your audio off? You know what I mean? It doesn't. That's why it doesn't affect me, because it doesn't make any sense.
But that's like true for everything in life, and that is very CBT, right? In the sense that like we are perpetually focused on the negative. But we have to like take a step back and have a governor on that and go, okay, there's way more positive things happening in my life than there are negative
Exactly.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're applying that now to comments, and I think that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, because like if you look at a clip, it'll be like, 119 comments.
Yep.
And then if one guy goes, "This sucks," and it gets like 100 likes.
Yeah.
On one comment. You still got 5,000 who just liked it and didn't say shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you ratio it, it's like you're still doing better.
Yeah.
So don't even, if you want to think of it mathematically, you're doing great. So
yeah.
I guess like the comments would be hate, the likes would be love. Getting no views, I guess, would be indifference.
Yeah.
That sucks. Just no views, no engagement at all. That sucks.
That's the sucky part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, sure, I want to be bigger and whatever, but like I'm healthy, my family loves me, so why am I stressing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love what you said in the beginning. It's like actually like not about the fame anymore at all. It's about the process. You love doing it. And it's so nice to be able to say like my biggest problem right now is social media.
Mm-hmm.
and it's just about the likes. Like it's just about how many likes.
I need money as well.
Oh, okay. That's like the whole world's problem.
I mean, that's everybody. But I'm not just I guess like the most strain on my mental health would probably be like social media type stuff.
Yeah.
And like, of course, like trying to survive in Los Angeles.
Because it's the raddest place. I love it so much. I felt bad for Tommy moving to New York today, even though I love New York too. But
he's gonna do great in New York.
He's gonna do great in New York. Mm-hmm. I love this city.
Yeah, me too.
I fucking adore it.
Yeah.
But it is like insane.
I live right by the Glendale Americana.
Yeah.
So I'll like walk there and get my coffee and stuff like that, and I'll just see kids filming like TikToks and stuff, and like I don't know how they deal with the negative stuff, because kids are kids.
They're kids. They don't know.
Yeah, they don't know that. Like I can be like, I don't care about this. This guy lives in his basement, you know? Whoever gave me this weird comment. They don't know that guy lives in a basement. They just see the bad words.
Right.
And they can't put together like, oh, that guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, that guy must be right, even though he's the most wrong.
Right. He's the most wrong. That's exactly what I was trying to say before when I was like, we don't know who's making these comments. But it most likely is the guy in his basement.
Yeah.
And they don't know that. And kids don't even understand irony. Like, they can't even like make that distinction. So it all gets absorbed.
Yeah. Like my friend, his son popped off on social media on doing YouTube shorts, and he's like 8. He's 8 years old.
No
and
way.
he got popping, like not like viral, but as an 8-year-old having like 11,000 followers on YouTube that's pretty good. He would just do the same dance over and over again just because he's 8. He's
that single strategy we said.
Yeah,
I love it.
He's 8. He doesn't know he's supposed to.
That's so.
He doesn't know.
No.
He has no idea. He's just posting. He's just dancing, and he's posting basically the same thing over and over again, just in different locations. He doesn't know you're supposed to do new bits, or he doesn't know you're supposed to do new things. He's just like, oh, this is fun, and I'm posting. He's just making a video. He's not knowing that it's the same thing as what he posted yesterday. He was just like, I'm just gonna post. I'm a child. I'm just gonna make a video and then hit upload.
Yeah.
And then he started getting like so many negative comments on YouTube, and he's 8, and then all these people that are like shitting on me, like, you doing the same shit every video. What the fuck's wrong with you piece of shit? And it's like a 35-year-old or like 40-year-old, and it's like,
oh my God,
and then he had to like he like my friend was like, yeah, he's so stressed out all the time. But he's 8.
Oh my God.
And he's like, yeah.
So what does a parent do? Do they take them off social media? Did they get him help?
He quit doing YouTube.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he get any other support? Or they just got him off.
There's some people in the comments that are like, he's 8.
What
are you doing? They're like, touch grass. You know what I mean? Like, it. Yeah, I can't even imagine being a kid right now.
You said he was your friend's
my
son?
Friend's kid. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a conversation just like this recently with a friend at dinner whose daughter popped off as well, and she didn't talk about the comments, but she did talk about the likes and the lack of likes, and this like teenager just like living, you know what I mean? Their whole sense of self is related to what kind of responses they're getting.
Yeah.
And we actually know a friend of mine who's a therapist. I believe her husband is actually representing kids now whose lives have been destroyed by social media.
Damn. Or this group of like teenagers, high school kids on a boat. I don't know if you saw this, but they like dumped 2 full like garbage bins of garbage and into the ocean.
Yeah.
And then once they got caught, you know, people will post their addresses, they'll dox them and post post the kids' family's business, and then left a bunch of negative reviews on Yelp and Google. And I mean, that must be, they made a mistake obviously, but now like everyone's life was ruined, like 16, 17.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I imagine if my life had, there's so many things that I did at 16, 17 that could have ruined my life.
Oh, you're saying, yeah.
How can we live under that standard? Like, you can't live by that standard. You have to actually screw up. To be a good adult, I think you have to be able to screw up.
Yeah.
And figure it out. You know what I mean? And learn that. Internally, it's telling me, like, people need to get kids help if they're going through this. Like, please don't. Like, go to a kid's therapist. Like, get some support. Get them some support. But I'm also thinking like parents should maybe have some more regulations or support or something with their kids and social media, because it's so heavy. Like, it has so much more power over all of us.
It does. It really does. This is what I think is kind of crazy, but it's also because we're in entertainment. But I'll look at my friends' Instagrams and reels from like back home, and they're just posting. They think they're just posting to their friends. They're just. This is
100%.
Crazy now that it's become like this. It's like, oh, Instagram used to be a thing where you just post so your friends could keep up with what you're doing. Yeah, so if you do like a weird thing at your wedding that was funny just to you and your friends, but it's actually like maybe you did something kind of racist in it, it's no longer for just your friends anymore. This is for everybody.
This is for everybody.
And people I think it's crazy people are still posting like that. But that's only because I'm in entertainment and I'm hyper vigilant about it. So if I post something, I know I'm prepared for everyone in the world to see it, even though no one is. No,
that's a good point. Yeah, I think we think though when we don't have a lot of followers that it is just our buddies that are seeing it. But you know, you just don't know who's lurking on like what page or what is going to go viral and why and whatever. I was thinking earlier when you were talking, when we were kids, there was one very angry year of middle school. Maybe it was like freshman year of high school. We used to throw full like, you know, like fountain sodas at people out the window. Like we used to just drive and like we see a man and we just like whip a soda.
Yeah.
That was like 1 year of my life. Like it was an activity that we did, you know? And now I'm like a grown ass woman who like helps support people's lives. And if I was held by that standard, you know, my life was ruined way back then. What would have become of me? I did that horrible thing many times and found it hilarious. But yeah.
So the takeaway, if you do bad things, just don't film it.
Yeah, don't film it.
Everyone sees everything.
There's another part of me though that's like, that has this other vibe about it where it's though like it's but it's who cares what they think, unless it's going to ruin your life, of course, and become dangerous for you. Whenever my feet end up in a post, those are the days that I pop off.
That's really funny.
It's really sad. Like I'll be on there trying to be like, here's how to help your depression, but like if there's like any like glimmer of my foot in there, like you can see it on my thing, it's like
that's so fun.
And then there's guys on there being like perfect toes and stuff. It's nuts.
Damn, are you on? Are you on WikiFeet? You probably are.
I'm not.
You're not?
But now I feel like I should be.
I mean, someone probably has made it.
You think so?
You could check. Yeah.
Am I on WikiFeet?
If there's
even so much as like a quarter of a toe in my post, that one gets noticed, but nothing else is being noticed.
That's so funny because we have an episode on our podcast of our game show on YouTube called. It's just the titles.
Covering
something WikiFeet, and the episode has nothing to do with feet at all. We just mentioned it one time, and it's our most viewed episode. But no one.
That's hilarious.
But only people watch like the first couple minutes of it. Because they're like, oh, feet. And then they're like, wait, there's no feet here. And then they click off.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do all of these like trauma videos where I'm like pointing out trauma. Maybe I point with my foot. My eyes are up here. Yeah, I think I would love to like talk to a child psychologist, but definitely I think bring your kid to therapy, like make sure that they know the responsibility and you understand the responsibility, and like that everyone is seeing that they're hunting and that your kid is visual for everyone. It's understandable why celebrities like don't allow their kids on social media at all. Like I really get that, and I feel like everyone should be protecting their kid like that.
I feel like the kids will be better with social media for sure, because now they're kind of understanding like, oh, if we post they're understanding that when we post, everyone sees it. Yeah. Where it's like the people who are kind of like older than us still don't get it. Yeah. But once they die out, it's gonna be fine, I think.
Oh, I like that. So you don't think it's actually gonna be worse the younger that they are? You think they actually are acclimating to it as it goes, so they're like.
I mean, you see your dad get canceled. You're like, I don't want that to happen to me. You know.
That's true. That's true.
I think it will get better, but we are in like this weird middle ground where it's like some people still think it's private, but it's not.
You know where there's a good place to share all your private weird shit. You know where that is?
No.
Therapy.
Oh yeah, exactly. yeah. There you go.
Like, don't put it on social media.
No.
Go to therapy and tell that person all your weird, cringy stuff.
Yeah.
That is the safe place to just like let it all hang out.
Yeah.
So I think that's like our takeaway for today. Like, do social media, feed that monster if you need to, if you have to, if you're old enough, all that shit. No, everyone's seeing it.
Yeah.
All your racist stuff goes to therapy.
Yeah. Yeah. Be racist to your therapist.
Tell them that you put plastic sludge into whatever it was you said. Yeah. Just bring it to us.
Yeah.
The real superheroes of today. I stand by that. He is a badass.
Thank you.
He is a comedian and he has a podcast.
It's called The Meter Game Show.
It's really a game show.
On all podcast platforms and YouTube.
Rad. And if you're in LA, you can see it live.
Every month at the Lyric Hyperion. Or if you want to see where I'm at, just follow me at Andrew_Rolfo on everything, and then AndrewRolfo.com.
Yeah, it was so nice to have you today.
Thank you
for coming.
It was fun.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening to us today. We know that you could have spent this time with a true crime podcast, but you care about mental health too, and that's balance. And we appreciate you. Go ahead and subscribe, please, and give us 5 stars. And if you didn't like it, like most of my family, just lie. Remember, this wasn't medical advice, but an irreverent conversation about mental health. New episodes drop every Tuesday on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, and everywhere else that we could manage to upload it. And hey, if you liked today's comedian, look them up and follow them. They are brave and they're talented. And if you have friends, good for you. That's a good sign. Now please go tell them about us.